Aloha and good afternoon. Thank you for watching This Is Now. We begin with this at noon. Honolulu police are investigating an apparent stabbing in Aiea. Officers were first called to an area on Lipoa Place just before 4:30 this morning. EMS treated a 22-year-old man with apparent stab wounds before rushing him to the hospital. He's considered to be in serious but stable condition. No word yet on a possible suspect in the case. We'll continue to keep you updated as more information becomes available to our newsroom. An Oahu woman has been charged with 3 counts of first-degree labor trafficking. The Attorney General's office says 53-year-old Anita Valdez allegedly operates a farm that sells produce and that she obtained the complainant for labor or service by fraud and deception. She also allegedly withheld the person's government-issued identification documents with the intent to impede the person's movement. Labor trafficking in the first degree is a Class A felony, punishable by 20 years in prison and a fine not exceeding $50,000. An arson suspect was caught on camera setting a truck on fire in Waipahu. This was on April 4th, just before 11 p.m. on Pupu'ole Street. In the video, you can see him ride up on a bicycle and light the truck's load on fire. Call Crime Stoppers with any tips at the number on your screen. Wahiawa murder suspect Alize O has turned himself in. The 20-year-old was wanted for a game room shooting that left 1 man dead and 2 others injured last Thursday. Police booked O for murder, attempted murder, and firearms offenses. Kauai businesses and homeowners who suffered flood damage last month can now apply for disaster relief. The U.S. Small Business Administration is offering low-interest federal loans up to $500,000. The SBA will open a disaster loan outreach office at the Kalaheo Neighborhood Center. It opens today at 1 p.m., then after that, Mondays through Fridays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. The deadline to apply is July 22nd. Shopping carts littering a shoreline signal an age-old problem in the city's drainage canals. Ben Gutierrez shows us what else last week's flooding washed down and what the city is doing long-term.
Kahala Avenue has some of the richest and most coveted addresses in the islands. However, the recent rains have exposed another population upstream, resulting in this debris on the beach fronting those houses.
It's just an odd juxtaposition, like we were saying, with all the multi-million-dollar homes right on the beach here and then all the trash and the homeless, so pretty sad.
Among the mess, just yards from those beachfront mansions, tents, grocery carts, a bicycle, and a wheelchair. Is this the most stuff you've seen?
Oh yes, by far.
Longtime Kahala resident and neighborhood board member Rich Turbin says the floodwaters sweep this stuff down a drainage canal to the beach.
Putting 2 and 2 together, it's easy to deduce that it's coming from the homeless encampments, both on the beach and upstream, near the canals upstream.
City Community Services Director Anton Krucky says homeless service providers were part of the response to last week's flooding.
So they already have been in those locations. They know where most of them are. I mean, some are tough to find, but they already are there. They're engaging those people, and now they come out and they communicate. Do you know there's a storm coming?
Perhaps because of that outreach, there were no reports of people being swept away, just their belongings. But days after the rain, the city's endless sweeps continue like a whack-a-mole game. While these crews cleared camps today near Market City Shopping Center, homeless people were getting settled into new spots just across the street.
I think the homeless issue here and there's people that's not throwing away their trash in the right places, definitely more of an island-wide issue versus just like here.
The latest point in time count tallied about 2,700 unsheltered homeless people, a 17% year-to-year increase. The city says that may be due to more counters this year, but it's still a reminder that this problem has eluded solutions for decades.
We're opening up a family shelter in Wahiawa, and Family Promise is going to run that. That opens in July. And we have another family shelter in Hauula that we contracted with the state to run, and that one opens in July as well.
Add to that the new Iwilei Homeless Resource Center, and nearly 400 new shelter beds will soon be available. But for now, Kahala beachgoers just want this mess gone.
We just hope that city and state authorities would make the efforts, to clean it up. Certainly, this debris here we hope that it will be loaded away.
In Kahala, Ben Gutierrez, Hawaii News Now.
Mayor Blangiardi continues his town hall meetings tonight. Residents of Kahala, Aiea, Niu Valley, and Hawaii Kai are invited to share their thoughts and community concerns to the mayor and other city officials. It'll be at the Kokohead District Park Gymnasium, starting at 6:30 p.m. Meanwhile, we have an update to the postponed Mayor's North Shore Town Hall. It was delayed because of the rough weather. It'll now take place on June 20th at Waialua Elementary School. Terrifying video out of Mexico where at least 9 people are dead after a stage collapsed at a political rally. Officials say the stage fell last night during a sudden gust of wind. Multiple social media videos show the stage, its lights, and a large video screen crashing down toward the crowd. The strength of the gust still visible with the stage coverings flapping in the wind as many in the crowd scream in terror. At least 81 others are hurt. One of the dead is a child. The largest live event promoter in the country is coming under fire from the federal government after the company had an issue with perhaps the most famous singer in the world. The result could mean lower ticket prices. Skylar Henry has more.
Ticketmaster and its parent company, Live Nation, are being told to part ways in a new lawsuit following the Taylor Swift ticket fiasco.
Taylor Swift was the one who made those abuses most famous.
The Department of Justice, along with 29 states and the District of Columbia, filed the antitrust lawsuit saying the companies drive out competition, which leads to higher prices for concert goers.
We allege that Live Nation has illegally monopolized markets across the live concert industry in the United States for far too long. It is time to break it up.
The Justice Department says Live Nation promotes the concerts, manages the artists, owns many of the venues, then is often the exclusive seller of tickets to those events. The DOJ claims the company controls around 60% of concert promotions at major venues and 80% of the ticketing.
The result is that fans pay more in fees, artists have fewer opportunities to play concerts, smaller promoters get squeezed out, and venues have fewer real choices for ticketing services.
To drive home the point, the Justice Department says fans attending concerts in Europe pay far less because competition among ticket brokers is more robust and they charge fewer fees. Caroline Matlock flew from Houston to Sweden to see Taylor Swift, where it was much cheaper.
We probably would have paid 2.5 times what we paid, maybe 3.
Live Nation alleges the DOJ is under political pressure to act and issued a statement saying calling Ticketmaster a monopoly may be a PR win for the DOJ in the short term, but it will lose in court because it ignores the basic economics of live entertainment. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
The presidents of UCLA, Rutgers, and Northwestern testified on Capitol Hill today about how they handled pro-Palestinian protests on their college campuses. Now, Republicans are accusing them of not doing enough to address the rise in anti-Semitism and concerns from Jewish students who say they felt threatened. Natalie Brand has more.
The wave of pro-Palestinian demonstrations that spread across college campuses nationwide took center stage on Capitol Hill Thursday.
The goal is to engage with students to the extent possible.
House Republicans pressed Northwestern University President Michael Schill about Jewish students' claims that encampment protesters harassed them.
I'm asking the question you're required to answer. Isn't it true that a Jewish Northwestern student was assaulted?
We are investigating those allegations.
Committee Chair Republican Virginia Fox criticized Schill as well as Rutgers President Jonathan Holloway for negotiating with students to disband the encampments.
You should be doubly ashamed for capitulating to the anti-Semitic rule breakers.
The battle against anti-Semitism, against bigotry in all of its forms, must be waged with education.
Democrats on the committee defended students' right to peacefully protest and questioned campus crackdowns involving law enforcement. At UCLA, Chancellor Jean Block enlisted the police to help disband encampments, resulting in more than 200 arrests.
This encampment was against policy.
You should be ashamed for letting a peaceful protest gathering get hijacked by an angry mob.
Among demonstrators' core demands that schools divest from companies that do business with Israel.
I would never recommend to the Board of Trustees divestment.
Ezra Pfeffer, who just graduated from Rutgers, attended the hearing and said he wants to see more from his university's leadership.
Comply with their own code of conduct, They make it very clear that they don't tolerate anti-Semitism. Let's see it.
Students say they want an action plan in place before they return in the fall. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Hawaii's governor and other leaders are rallying around our first responders this week in honor of National EMS Week. Casey Lund shows us how Hawaii is celebrating the 50th year of the occasion.
Aloha from Honolulu EMS headquarters as we celebrate the 50th year of recognizing EMS Week here in the state of Hawaii. So it's not just for our Honolulu EMS folks, but really across the state. The governor's signing a proclamation tomorrow. The mayor already did, but we're also here with some of our EMTs, our paramedics, talking about the tools and the training that it takes to do this really important job. I'm here with Keola Pito, a paramedic, training supervisor with Honolulu EMS. Thanks for being with us today. First of all, how long have you been working with Honolulu EMS?
I've been with the city for about 17 years now.
All right. Thank you for what you do. I want to ask you a little bit about some of the stuff that you folks use every single day that you find on a rig. Tell us what we're looking at here on the table.
So this is a LifePack 15. We can monitor a patient's heart rhythm with this. We can also check vital signs. We can also defibrillate with it. So yeah, it does a lot.
A super important tool. And then I've seen this. This is I mean, not super new, but relatively new device. Tell me what this does, the glide scope.
So this is a glide scope. It helps us to insert an advanced airway into a patient to help him breathe.
So can I ask you what made you want to get into this line of work? Because as we've talked about with Matt Lamke and some of the other folks we've talked to today for National EMS Week, this isn't, necessarily, it's one of those, not just a job, more of a lifestyle, a career, right?
Exactly. Yeah, so my dad's a retired firefighter, so I kind of grew up in the emergency setting. And just wanted to be of service to the community and to help in that way. And I couldn't think of any better way to do it other than to become a paramedic.
Well, we thank you for what you do, my friend, and appreciate you sharing a little bit about what you do. I also want to talk to Matt Lamke, another training supervisor who we've had on before. I wanted to show, because we're here at headquarters, some of the different things you guys had laid out, some stuff that I've seen before, and then some things that I'm not so familiar with. Tell us what we're looking at here, Matt.
Casey, this outdates me, actually. So, fortunately, the human body hasn't changed in several thousand years, so the concepts are all the same. But this was one of the original ideas of how to do external chest compressions based off of an oxygen cylinder. Move forward now into 2000s, we have these same concept, but now it's battery powered, it's much smaller, and it really is an efficient tool that we have out there on the ambulance to help resuscitate people.
And I know it's the latest and greatest, but I think I wanted to also just kind of put into people's minds what it allows you to do. This frees up another set of hands when you're dealing with a really dynamic emergency situation.
Yeah, absolutely. It frees up the hands, but it's a very consistent compression depth and speed, and so that's what the person who's in cardiac arrest, they need that consistency, and that really has been saving a tremendous amount of lives. This is a real true life-saving tool that we have on the ambulance.
Matt, earlier today we talked a little bit about what it takes to become first an EMT, then a paramedic like Keola. If you come over here, Keola, real fast too, I just wanted to ask you if somebody's interested in this line of work, or do you guys have recruiting efforts? What should they know? Where should they go if they want to learn more?
Yeah, so like I said, once again, we're doing this in academy now, and so that's going to be through the Department of Human Resources, and it'll be posted on there. And then you can also, go down the pathway through KCC, Kapiolani Community College, and they have an EMT program over there that you can get involved with.
Very good, and we'll get all those resources if that's something that you're interested in online at hawaiinewsnow.com. Gentlemen, I want to thank you for today, and again for what you do. Matt and Keola, for now, we'll send things back into the studio.
Thank you, Case. Let's take a live look outside with our tower cam. This is looking out toward Honolulu. You can see Diamond Head there off in the distance. Temperature right now, 80 degrees on this Aloha Thursday, and the trade winds are here, which is nice. Guy Hagi's going to have our full forecast after this quick break.
How's it on this Thursday? We have very pleasant weather, just going to run for the next several days. Now, this morning, we're starting out a little wet here on Oahu, and there are more passing showers out there, but really not a lot of rain when you add it all up. Showers are favoring windward and Mauka areas, and that's going to be what we see for the next several days. Now, the winds are slow in waking up, but it is expected to be quite a breezy day today. In the afternoon, the wind should be stepping up to about 50 to 25. Otherwise, we've got a standard textbook trading weather day. That's the best weather on the planet with lots of leeward sunshine, high temperatures running into the middle 80s. And with those breezy winds, we also have a rising wind swell for the east shore. Granted, it's going to be pretty choppy for the east shore for the next several days, but with all the sunshine, that UV index will be very high. So great day to get out to the beach, but heads up, surf's going to be choppy and to some extent elevated for the east shore. So these breezy winds will level off, but still remain at a brisk 15 to 20 miles an hour all the way into the Memorial Day holiday. So things are looking good. If anything, rain-wise, we'll see a few overnight and early morning showers for windward areas, lots of leeward sunshine, and that weather pattern will go all the way through Memorial Day, maybe even beyond.
Hurricane season in the Atlantic also begins on June 1st, and according to the new outlook from NOAA, it could be a busy one. Ivan Rodriguez has more.
There's a much higher chance of an above-average hurricane season than there is of there being a below-average season. And while the season may bring tropical troubles to the eastern part of the United States, it's the Gulf Coast states that are at an even higher risk. People who live along the east and Gulf Coast should brace themselves. The 2024 Atlantic Hurricane Outlook released by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Thursday is one for the record books.
The forecast for named storms, hurricanes, and major hurricanes is the highest NOAA has ever issued for the May outlook.
Between 17 and 25 storms are forecasted to form between June 1st and November 30th. Of those storms, 8 to 13 could become hurricanes, 4 to 7 of which could strengthen into major hurricanes Category 3 or greater.
There's an 85% chance of an above normal season.
Sea surface temperatures are at record warm levels, and experts expect current El Nino conditions to transition to La Nina, creating a dynamic strongly conducive to tropical cyclone activity and setting the stage for storms to rapidly intensify.
Every Category 5 storm that made landfall in the United States in the last 100 years, ready, is a tropical storm or less 3 days prior. The big ones are fast.
The ominous forecast comes as much of the South has already been inundated by heavy rain in recent weeks, particularly along the Gulf Coast. Experts warn the tropical trouble coupled with saturated soil poses the threat of extreme flooding, even well inland.
Hurricanes impact far beyond the coast. Be aware and prepared no matter where you live.
And after the storm has passed. This latest forecast is also in line with Colorado State University's forecast, which was released last month, where 5 Category 3 or higher major hurricanes are predicted. In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Central Texas weathered severe storms overnight and a tornado touchdown in the city of Temple. Ken Molestina gives us a closer look at the damage.
Gosh, poor Temple.
Residents in Temple, Texas are cleaning up after a tornado and straight-line winds ripped through the city on Wednesday.
I guess we'll just pick it up piece by piece.
Footage from inside this car shows the storm hitting the vehicle. Wind and rain whipped inside the Temple Mall after part of the roof blew off. The owner of this pet grooming studio grabbed her dogs and ran into the bathroom.
I call my daughter and I tell her, I'm gonna die. I'm calling you to tell you.
The tornado left a trail of destruction. More than 500 homes and businesses were impacted, especially in West Temple.
There is extensive damage to property, both businesses and homes. It'll be full cleanup mode from here on out.
If you need another gauge of just how strong the winds are, check this out. This is an 18-wheeler that was toppled over, flipped over on its side just outside the Temple Mall. Police are advising drivers to stay off the road, and some areas are completely restricted.
Please honor our efforts to protect certain areas as we continue to have downed power lines and extensive damage throughout some areas.
Fortunately, only minor injuries were reported, but additional crews stand at the ready even in this recovery phase. Ken Molestina, CBS News, Temple, Texas.
All right, for for today's good news now. Dylan is on assignment on Kauai. He's back home at our alma mater, Kauai High School, where a special surprise went down earlier today. Tell us what happened, Dylan.
Yes, Ashley, thank you so much. Former Red Raider yourself, we are here on Kauai High School. There was something very special that happened earlier this morning before the senior class went out on their senior picnic. We were in their brand new gymnasium to unveil that one of these members of the senior class won a very special contest. Via Javinar won the Take Me to Manoa scholarship, and that is an amazing prize. What she won was 1 full year of free tuition from the University of Hawaii at Manoa. She didn't really see it come. Well, she had inklings that something big was happening, but at the end of it all, she was very surprised there in the gymnasium, surrounded by her classmates, and we even brought in her family members, her mom, her grandma, and some brothers there, and it was just such a wonderful surprise. Here's some of how it went down.
We are here, surrounded by your classmates, to make a very special announcement. You are the winner of the Take Me to Manoa contest. You have won 1 year of free tuition at the University of Hawaii at Manoa.
I still was like completely shocked when you made the whole announcement. It was just, my head was just like spinning. I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually happening. And I'm just so excited and happy right now. It's just, it's going to be really hard to leave a place like this. I mean, I did consider going to the mainland, but in reality, I just knew like I wouldn't feel at home there like I would here in Hawaii.
Now, this contest was a partnership with UHFCU along with University of Hawaii at Manoa and their many campuses. And of course, Hawaii News Now, we have been a part of this major scholarship reveal for a couple years now. This year is actually the 6th year of this contest. And last year, the winner was from Pearl City High School. So this year, we headed all the way to Kauai to make the surprise announcement today. And as you heard there, such good emotion. She's so excited to head off to UH Manoa. And I watched her video, and the applicants were tasked with creating a 1-minute video that basically summarizes why they want to go to the University of Hawaii at Manoa. And I watched her video, and she captured the beauty of the islands. She captured the beauty of her own journey through media and storytelling. And in fact, she did a story on me when she was a freshman in high school for their Hikino project. And so there were some snippets in there in her video, and I was like, wow, that's a full circle moment here. So it's so amazing. And ultimately, she said, you know, her Hawaii is her home. She couldn't see herself going off anywhere else to college. So we are so excited for her to go off to UH Manoa. And she also says that she will be majoring or studying computer sciences there. So we are so excited to see how she will do at UH Manoa. Ash?
Very cool, Dylan. And what was it like being in the new gym? I have not seen the new gym yet. I think you've been a couple times, right?
Yes, this is actually my second time back. They had me back for their homecoming celebration, which was their very first assembly at the new gym, and that was late last year. But let me tell you, that new gym is absolutely gorgeous. There's a Jumbotron, a video screen. The floors, as I was walking on there, I was looking at it, and it's stained so beautifully with the logo, the colors. It is a fresh new gym, and it's sitting right next to the old gym, which the school is using as a practice gym. So to kind of see the juxtaposition of the two, they got a nice big Kauai High logo. It's amazing. You got to come check it out.
I will. That old gym, it built character, though, in all of us who had to use it.
Yeah, good times. I've spent many hours in that gym as well. Cheer practice, volleyball, assemblies, all that good stuff.
All right. Thank you, Dylan, reporting from Kauai. Thank you so much, Dylan. And thank you for watching it. This is Now. We'll have more news at 4.